Hey everybody, happy Sunday evening. If you're a Cowboys fan, I'm sorry, and I am a Cowboys fan, and I am sad. But I'm also a Cardinals fan, and I was pretty happy with today's results. And for the rest of you who don't care about football, too bad. For this week, just wanted to give a quick update. Two updates. One is just mostly to keep me accountable to the goals I'm setting for myself. Another week in the books. This puts me, depending on where I started, I was kind of like a little shaky start. It was somewhere around a week before I had my post-op appointment. Was it then? I think it was. I think I'm somewhere on... That first week was like iffy. I wasn't juicing or anything. I didn't have all the stuff yet. But I think I'm somewhere around 3 to 4 weeks. I'm calling it 4 weeks just for fun. But another week in the books. I should have marked the official day so I kind of knew where I was. Weight-wise, I'm down 10 to 12 pounds. 10 for sure. I also didn't have a start weight. I wasn't really... didn't really have a start thing. I was just like, this sounds good, so I'm going to do it. Kind of a thing I just started, you know. I'm a strong believer, if you're going to do it, just do it now. You know, why wait till Monday kind of a thing? If it makes sense, just do it. So it kind of was like a total shock to Samantha, and she's like, what the hell? Like, I thought this was going to be later. I'm like, no, I'm only eating fruits and vegetables now, right now. And she's like, what the heck? But, you know, she got used to it eventually. Anyway, another week in the books, getting a little bit better at my process, and overall doing well. I think the only issues I'm dealing with are more like post-surgery, just complications. Mostly just like when you have part of your rectum / intestines taken out, it screws up your regular digestion a bit, which I met with oncology Friday, and they said that could last for a while. So hopefully that won't be forever. It does seem to be getting better, but overall I'm doing very well. I think tomorrow I'm gonna try doing some of my more regular exercises like push-ups and sit-ups and stuff. I haven't done that since surgery, because obviously a lot of those are core exercises. So I'm going to go pretty light this next week and see how I do. But hopefully I can start to incorporate that, because I do feel like that's kind of going away. Anyway, yeah, so things are going well, sticking with it. There are still rough times, you know. You see other food and you're just like, that looks so much better than a big bowl of fresh fruits and veggies or stuff. And I am doing a little bit of cooked food for dinner, but I'm probably going to get better at making that better, not just like random cooked food. Like, just like, here's a pile of green beans. Like, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Anyway, I'm rambling. The update worth mentioning was I met with an oncologist, which obviously I already made my decision kind of on, you know, where I was going with it. But I wanted to see what they said. And I did like the oncologist, you know, obviously medical perspective. You know, he's not a nutritionist or anything. But he did seem to have a good idea on more of a holistic approach. It wasn't just like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, just do chemo. Kind of like he was like, yeah, you know, health and diet matter, eat these things, don't do these things. Like I liked what he had to say there. The kind of good news from the conversation was, based off of the research I had done. Granted, I'm not a doctor. I was just looking at the pathology report and trying to dissect it, which, you know, it is what it is. When I talked to the surgeons, they just said stage 2, but they didn't tell the stage 2 version, because there's A, B, C, those kind of things. When I looked at it, I thought it was stage 2B. Which I thought, well, that one's a little bit tougher. You know, maybe they would recommend chemo because of that. When I met with him, he actually is like, no, it's stage 2A. And stage 2A doesn't seem much different than stage 1 as far as like success rates. He gave me a range, 80 something. I want to say it was 83 or 85 or 87. I'm not sure. But then the high range was 93%, which is the one that, kind of stuck in my head. So potentially, what I was originally thinking was like 75%, risk of recurrence or whatever. It's really much better. So they're not recommending doing chemo. They're like, you're most likely cured with surgery. And so it just doesn't make sense. Now, if it comes back, we'll figure that out at that time. But, until it comes back, we're not going to talk about chemo. And then even then, we'll have to see what's going on, right? My plan is for it to never come back. Even if it's 93% chance, there's still 7% chance there. So I'm not messing around, right? So I'm still going to do my diet. I'm still all in, still going to do all the things. And because of that, it's not going to come back. Like, in addition to the fact it probably wouldn't have come back anyway, it's definitely not coming back with me. At least that's my plan. And, if it does, well, we'll figure it out at that time. So as far as that goes, I think that was great news. I was very happy with that. And then we just kind of got some plans for some scans. So I was a little iffy on the scans because ultimately, if you do a CT scan, which is what they do, that's a ton of radiation, which can cause cancer. But typically, if you have colon cancer and it comes back, it actually doesn't come back in the colon a lot. A lot of times it shows up in the liver or the lung or somewhere else, and you won't be able to know about that outside of a scan. Otherwise, it could be really, really bad when you find out later. So I think I'm going to do the scans. A lot of the stuff I'm doing actually counteracts the effects of radiation anyway. So like a lot of the plants and things I'm eating actually are good to prevent cancer from those things. So I'm hoping that will reduce my risk of the scans turning into cancer or anything like that. But then I also get to, actually do the scans and see what's going on. So what that's going to look like is CTs every 6 months for, I think, 2 or 3 years. And then they want to do another colonoscopy like in June. And then I think once a year for 1 or 2 years. And after that, maybe go to 5 years or something like that. And then after that, I'll be like 40. And I'd probably need to have regular colonoscopies anyway. So just a bunch of scans planned. I do have a meeting with a genetics counselor next month. I don't know the top of my head the day, but just where they're going to do some more research to see if there's anything genetic. From everything they can tell, this is not a genetic tumor or anything like that. This is just a tumor. And actually, when I was asking him, I was like, is this a slow-growing or fast-growing tumor? Because up to this point, I've talked to people, and everyone's like, you probably had this for like 5 years or, 5, 10 years. Like, this has probably been here a long time. But he said that mine had some markers of being a little bit more spontaneous growing. So he's like, I really have no idea how long you've had it. Like, it could have been a while. He's like, it's not a sarcoma. It's not growing, every week or anything. But it might have come actually kind of quick. And it kind of tracks with the stress that I had, and, as I read, even the one book, stress is a big contributor to cancer, right? So it's not just what you eat. There's a lot of things, and stress is one of the things that lets your body break down. So I might have had traces of cancer, or maybe a really early version of cancer, and then it really got inflamed or went crazy because of all the stress. It definitely is what it seemed like, right? I didn't have anything that kind of came out of nowhere. It was really bad, in the sense that, I had symptoms. And then I came back here, my stress level was completely different, and it kind of seemed to get better. It wasn't gone. Like, I could still, I'd still have symptoms, and I'd be like, I want it out of me. But it definitely, there was a swing. So anyway, it's hard to say. It's gone, and from the traditional medical perspective, there's a good chance that they've already cured me. So that's the plan. I'm cured. That's where I'm at. And then I'm mostly just playing prevention right now. And, learning more about that. The reality is there's a lot of other things that could kill me besides cancer. And most of everything I'm doing is going to help prevent that too. So basically no downside. It's been on my to-do list to do anyway for a while. Time to just get on my butt and do it. So this is the reason. Still sticking with it. I'm going to keep doing updates, mostly for myself so that I stay on it, and then hopefully inspire you guys to do something to take care of yourselves as well. So here's your weekly reminder to take a walk and eat something that is not processed. And if you want to pick something that's super high powered, eat garlic. Garlic is one of the best things you can eat. I'll have some other tips and tricks as far as superfoods worth eating, but we'll just start with eat some garlic and eat a real fruits and vegetables and stop eating processed stuff. You do that, it's going to make a big difference in your life. All right, I think that's it for now. You guys have a wonderful week. Happy Monday, and I'll give you a post next week.